But I do want to bring in Alexis McGill-Johnson, who's the president and CEO of Planned Parenthood. I want to go ahead and get your initial reaction to this ruling by a Texas right-wing judge to stay the approval, the FDA approval of mifepristone.
Thank you, Joy. Look, this is a reckless decision. This is a decision that is based on junk science. It is going to have devastating consequences for patients. The thing I want to most be clear about right now is that for at least the next 7 days, access is still available for patients. And it's important to say that because we know that all of these rulings, all of these bills that have been introduced over the last however long have meant that people are sowing chaos and confusion for people. And for right now, for the people who are making decisions about what they need to do in this moment, they are still able to get access to care. But for this to happen in this week, the same week when voters went to the ballot in Wisconsin and demonstrated how much they cared about making these own decisions for themselves, for this judge to come down and make it clear that no respect for our ability to make decisions about our own bodies is incredibly telling. This is a clear crisis, not only for democracy, but for freedom.
Well, I mean, I think if those who have read The Handmaid's Tale or watched the series understand that it was a right-wing Christian religious cult, essentially, that took over the United States and stripped women of all of their rights, leaving them the only choices to be a handmaid, essentially forced birth incubator, or be a prostitute or a maid, which it sounds pretty spot on with what a lot of folks in this country seem to think are the only purposes that women have in the world. I want to bring in Minnie Tamaraju to add Minnie Tamaraju to this conversation. She's the president of NARAL, Pro-Choice America. Minnie, your initial reaction.
Look, this decision tells us we were spot on about who Matthew Kacsmaryk is. You know, we read through the opinion. My team is still reading through it and doing the analysis. But our understanding is he evokes all of the most horrific, extreme arguments against medication abortion in this case, and he makes it clear that is the direction he is willing to head, short of a Fifth Circuit action. So it is not a surprise. That does not make it any less distressing. And in light of what has happened this week in places like Idaho, and to Alexis's point, the strength of the community in Wisconsin, it's really, really discouraging that this judge went ahead with this most extremist route. And we're just hoping the DOJ and the Fifth Circuit will take quick action.
And Alexis, if you could just sort of give us sort of the state of play here. I mean, medication abortion, that's about half or a little more than half of the ways in which women obtain this health care, right?
Yes, absolutely. Consistently so. And I think even increasingly more important, given the fact that we are now 9 months post the Dobbs decision, we have seen over 300 restrictions introduced in 46 states. And 18 states have no access to abortion or very limited access. And medication abortion is one of those ways in which people are able to make decisions in time to not have to travel in ways that will deny them access. So this is not just about what's happening in Texas. The fact that this case against the FDA approval means that it's going to impact New York and California and Illinois and Vermont and all of the places where people are now traveling way out of the South in order to get access to care. And so this is the entire country. The entire nation needs to be on watch now that our ability to have equal control over our own bodies is under attack.
And Minnie, we've already seen in the state of Idaho a bill to make it illegal to travel. So they're already starting to lock women in and say you can't move, you can't travel. And in this case, they're talking about anyone under 18, but that means an aunt, you know, an older sister, a doctor. They're trying to frighten people into even helping women. We've seen that in Texas with this bounty law. So what you're seeing is the right to abortion being squeezed by making doctors afraid to treat you, by making your family members afraid to help you, by making an Uber driver afraid to drive you, by saying that if you travel across state lines or get close to the border in the state of Idaho and you might have, you know, mifepristone with you, that's a crime. And making, you know, in the state of South Carolina, they're proposing potentially adding the death penalty. This is the Handmaid's Tale, as Lisa said. Women in this country are essentially being told, you are an incubator. The state owns your body the minute that you are pregnant, and there's nothing you can do and no one you can turn to. I can't imagine anything closer to slavery than that.
This is all by design. I mean, look, the way that patients have been getting served post-jobs, particularly in Texas, where I actually am right now with my family because I'm from Texas, it has been by folks leaving their state, right? Going across borders, going to clinics like Planned Parenthoods, right there at the border of some of these states, getting access to mifepristone, which is incredibly safe, as we've said many times, safer than Tylenol, has been approved for over 23 years, and getting access to that care through telemedicine in some cases. So these laws that you just outlined are designed to close the last available possibility for the most desperate Americans who need this care. And it is wild, completely dystopian, as you said, completely evil, and designed to intimidate and create a perfect storm of confusion for patients. And it's so important to call out the opposition here. You know, groups like Susan B. Anthony List who've been blaming providers for being unclear to their patients. And it is truly beyond the pale that they are still making those arguments when they have designed these laws in a way to create mass confusion and maximum harm to American women.
And knowing that rich women will just get on a plane and fly to Europe and still get abortions anyway. It's poor women, it's women of color, they're going to suffer. I want to give the last word to you, Lisa, right, because what is the root for this? So the Fifth Circuit gets it. What happens? Because my fear is it winds up right back at the Supreme Court, and Samuel Alito, in his smugness and reverence for the 19th century, simply says, too bad, so sad, you are incubators, get over it.
It's my fear, too. I mean, the one thing I can say is that on one hand, the Supreme Court might be better or slightly better than the Fifth Circuit. It is the most ideological of our federal circuit courts of appeals right now. I don't have any confidence that the Fifth Circuit will either stand up for women or even stand up for the right of the FDA to decide which drugs are safe and effective. I mean, this decision doesn't just undermine women and their right to abortion, it undermines the entire regulatory state, which is a larger project of the larger conservative movement. They don't want federal agencies to have power to make decisions because they don't like what happens in things that they care about, like oil and gas and the environmental movement. They want agencies to have less power. With respect to the Supreme Court, Joy, I think the one thing that we can say is that Judge Kaczmarek has so squarely across the board decided for the plaintiffs on everything from whether they had standing to bring this suit to whether they exhausted their administrative remedies at the FDA. I'm hoping that the Supreme Court can poke holes in one of the things that allowed the plaintiffs to even bring this case in the first place, because it has legal experts like me scratching their heads about whether you can, 23 years after the fact, challenge a decision by the FDA.
This is minority rule, everyone. This is why you vote, except that when you vote, they just expel the people that you voted for. This is minority rule. This is a seizure of democracy. The minority in this country, let's just be clear, they have a minority view. They are 30-70 on all of these issues, and they are seizing control of you. We need to pay attention to this. Lisa Rubin, Alexis McGill Johnson, Minnie Timaraju, thank you very much.